Hello, all my creative friends. This is Christina at Inspired Creativity. Welcome to my messy desk. You might be wondering why I have all these journals stacked up here. And I have some more off on the side that I want to show you. Sorry I've been missing for a while. This is my hectic season at work right now, but I was thinking about you guys, and I'm thinking about, where do I go next with my videos. So this is what I was thinking. I just wanted to talk about the different types of journals that I have, the different journals that I'm working on. I wanted to talk about how some of them I make and some of them I swap and receive. Some of them, and I do swaps online through Facebook with different groups. And then some of them I'm gifted. And some of them, I don't know if I've said this, some of them I buy. So from other artists. And they have different purposes. So that's where I was kind of going with this. That's why I have all this on my desk. And so that you can kind of see like what's out there. And I don't know, I'm as I do complete journals and stuff, I kind of trying to find my own style. I make journals and I swap journals, and I'm just trying to, I try different things. Some things work, some things don't. And I don't have everything that I kind of do here. So if you guys like this video, I can pull some other journals and all, but you can look back in the videos that I've made and kind of see some of the journals that I've worked in. And glue books. I love doing the glue books, and I've been making these wonderful comb bound trashy journals. This is kind of like my new thing, with these trashy style journals. Yeah, but here, let's just kind of talk about what I have here right now. So like I said, I'm going to move some of these off my desk and then just kind of focus on a couple things about what's going on right now and what I have. And yes, I do flip around working in different journals at different times. This journal was a gift for me from one of my dear friends, Amy, and it's beautiful. I don't know if I have the card from the artist. She bought this off of Etsy for me as a it was either birthday or Christmas gift, but this is all handmade leather. Obviously it's a skill that I don't have, and yeah, I would never, I guess I could learn how to make this type of journal, but there's already artists out there making these beautiful type journals. I love how she bound this together, and she hand makes the leather, embroiders her pieces on it, and it's just a beautiful journal. Here we go. There we go. I think that's not everybody puts their names in the journals or makes, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, which is interesting because, I mean, how would you remember? Can't always remember who made the journal without some kind of mark on there. Oh, here we go. So this one's a slow work in progress. This is some stuff I just want to add to it, but it's lovely journal, room to expand, and it's got a variety of types of papers in there, which I like. I had been like collecting some artist stickers. I went to Asheville, and this is from some artists from Asheville. Yeah, and I like vintage cards, postcards. That's kind of where I just stuck that in there, thinking I'm going to keep that in there. But this is just sort of as I go along. This is some of my doodle art in here, and I just pull it out occasionally and just add some things to it, and it's been sitting off to the side as I did other projects and all, and I would really like to kind of get back to this journal. You can see this is some of my doodle papers. This is actually, I think I got this in some Happy Mail. Yeah, but I definitely, this is something that I'm going to continue to work on this year. This is, again, some of my doodles in here. This was an ATC card that I traded for. I just like that in here. Some more stickers from artists from Asheville. And I'm sorry that I don't remember her name. I really loved her art. I need to look that up, but yeah, some more of my doodle stuff. I didn't realize how much of my own doodle art I put in here. So this, again, some more of my art. It's just a beautiful book. Okay, yeah, I did put a lot of my art stuff in here, my own personal stuff. Okay, maybe that's the theme I was going for. And other artists as well. This is from an artist, Anaïs, in Switzerland that I often trade with. I just haven't glued it in here. Wasn't sure if that's where I want to put it or keep it. Yeah, so this is a book I'm working on. Some more of my art. And I want to continue working on it, but I just wanted to show you that there's different styles. That's more of my art. And you can use all these different varieties of papers. You can have all different types of covers. And you can work on multiple different books at a time. And sometimes they get set off to the side and you kind of, I don't know if you necessarily forget about them, but you just start working. If you're like me, I'm kind of sometimes all over the place. And that's also what makes it hard to figure out what to do in videos for you guys, because I may be working in multiple different types of journals or books. So it looks like this one I was adding a lot of my own art and art from other artists. So also, sometimes I get journals from swaps, or I win journals sometimes. I don't know I don't know if winning is sometimes they have drawings and stuff and for journals, and I think that's how this one came about, was in a drawing in one of the groups that I'm in. And I absolutely love the unicorn. I'm such an 80s girl, and I love fun, playful colors and stuff. I love this tie around dangle. It's beautiful. It's a little heavy. I'm not typically a lacy person, but you know, it's cute, and I love this dangle. I love how eclectic it is. Yeah, beautiful. The problem with a one signature journal like this is I add a lot of stuff to my journals, and as you can tell, it's getting chunky, and I'm not even halfway through this journal. So that's probably why I stepped away from it for a while, because it's a big strain on such a thin spine. So take that into consideration when you are looking at journals. You know, if you're someone who just maybe writes in the journal, does a lot of writing, then this may be the type of journal for you, because you don't add a lot of bulk like I do. I am a junky journaler, and I love to add things to my journal. Almost like in the past when they had scrapbooks, and you throw all your scraps and bits in there, things that you love, you put in there. So with this one, it's just so pretty. I love the colors, butterflies. I love butterflies. And I started adding, I occasionally do some trades for postcard size art. And my friend in Switzerland, she sends me some beautiful postcard art, and I started adding some of that in here. And I just love this one. Had a lot of stuff already made and put in here. And again, I'm not really a journaler, so this is some, I think these are like digital printouts and such. I don't typically use those in the journals that I make, but they are very pretty, and sometimes I get some of that in swaps or trades or Happy Mail, and I don't mind using them in my journals. So, but again, I'm not much of a journaler, and maybe what I would do is just add some inspiring quotes in there. If I was to put something in here that had a memory tied to it, I might, jot a little bit down. This is a postcard size art that I made in here. This I got in a swap. But this had like a lot of little lovely, tuck spots, and like I said, little journaling cards and things like that. And you see a lot of these type of, I love these. These are like from the libraries. Does anybody remember those and what they were called? When you used to have to look through and get, the little card on the book that you were looking for. Gosh, why can't I remember that? It's been so long. These are fun. They're kind of a mixture of, dyed papers and vintage ephemera, and then digital printouts and things like that. So I made this ruffle. I need to make some more fabric ruffles. I love looking back at my journals so I can remember things that I've made, and maybe I haven't done these in a while, and I just love them. So I think I will start doing that again. And this was a combination of some things that I've received, and I love collaging, adding things on my favorite things is something I like to do, and that's why they get bulky. And then I love trading, so I get a lot of things in trading, and I'll add them to these as well. This is so cute, a little homemade bead. Yeah, but it bulks up. This is from an ATC trade. I think this was Vera. Her art is so beautiful. Maybe not. Well, again, if they don't mark their sign your art, I can't always remember, so my apologies. Yeah, so this journal came with a lot of these little things in here. So cute. Again, I think this was from a swap we were doing where we made these sort of flower bands. It's so pretty. And this was a postcard swap from my friend Anise. And this was ATC from Linda. And this, nice little hidden pocket. I love these things, and it gives you some cool ideas. Again, I think this was from a swap. Cute. Love these little tuck spots that you can fill with all your little favorite things in here. But this one, again, it's a work in progress. And sometimes when I get something, I think, oh, that would look really nice in that journal, and I'll pull it out and I'll add to it. So yeah, this is kind of, I love to just like put things into my journals too. This was fun. Again, I think this was more of that flower kind of band thing that we were making on there. I love what they used to tie in the signature though. It's like this really pretty ribbon. Yeah, and so I was creating a collage on here. This is sort of some of Gloria Foo's art. Gloria K. Sorry, Gloria, if I've mispronounced that and you are watching this. She's in Singapore, I believe. So this is another kind of journal, and like I said, I don't think I would go with like a single signature spine journal, just because for me, I like to bulk up my journals with stuff. So this one, I added some fabric here. I've added a lot of things in here, some artist trading cards, some stuff I've received, and yeah. Oh, this is from my friend Jackie. Isn't it lovely? That's her art. And yeah, this was fun too. This was in here. I love this. That's so cute. So, you know, there's room for me to add some more. It is getting a little stretched on that spine, but that's okay. I keep on adding to it. It's fun. But think about that. Think about like the width of your spine. What is your spine? What is your journal made out of? You know, is it flexible like the leather one? Is it rigid? You know, how bulky is it? So, this one was from, I purchased this one. This is from Amber at the Thrifty Journal shop. She has, that's her YouTube. And I added this. I wanted to kind of make this like a fall journal, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it that as a fall type journal or not. I love her little handmade beads. They're just beautiful, and it inspires me to try to make some myself. So this is a soft journal, so it has some room for to expand, which I love about it. And this too, I think, is like a single signature, but it's soft and flexible. It kind of allows you to add more than like the rigid spine from the last journal that I showed you. So this is something that I think this is made out of some kind of cardboard, so it's really not as flexible as this sort of fabric spine. But I love Amber. I love her journals. I love that she makes a lot of ephemera herself, which is what I like to do. She inspires me so much. I love how she adds these ruffles, and she's making all these things herself and recycling and reusing, and I like how she incorporates fabrics and stuff into her journals as well. Yeah, so this is kind of like, then I started thinking, I originally got this, I was going to turn it into some like fall type journal, but now I'm thinking multiple season. That way it allows me to work on it all throughout the year. And so I put this sort of season poem on the card here that she had in the front. I love this little tuck spot that she created here in the front. And I think this is made out of some kind of like kitchen cloth thing. It's what I think, if I remember correctly, what she was saying. So, and then I added this, I got in a swap. So I started putting, I think, some things in here, but maybe not a lot, so I won't go through this a lot. But yeah, check out Amber and her art. This is one of her, so she gave me some ephemera, and I just been kind of trying to spread it around. She gives you this really nice goodie pack of stuff, and I added one of her little squirrels on there, and this says, in the springtime the heart regrows hope. So yeah, that's where I think I was going with this. So I will continue to work on this as I go along. But I love, you know, she adds these ruffles, and you know, yeah, I have been adding some things in there because I know that I got this card as in a swap or Happy Mail. Again, I like the mixture, and this one, I think all the little Red Riding Hood book stuff is in here from that too. But yeah, just beautiful. I've been adding some stickers and things, but it's nice to kind of just pull out other journals occasionally. And you know, it's hard for me to always stay focused on one journal. Or I say that, but then sometimes I get obsessed. This is really cool. I wanted to show you guys real quick that she made these out of envelopes, and it just kind of flips over the page like such, and you can add some stuff inside. But how cool is that? You know, a great way to recycle envelopes. We always get a lot of those in the mail. But such a creative way, and she made some of her little beads on the paper clip. Love it, so fun. I love the bright colors and all that she uses. It just speaks to me because I enjoy the bright colors so much. And I just love how she sews and adds stuff in there. I've been adding some things to the pockets and all, and uses the fabric, and yeah, love it. It's so pretty. Looks like I added ATC and some other things in there. So, and some things that I've received again in swaps and stuff. But I love these little pockets and how creative she is. So I guess you could flip, as it got bigger, you could just flip it in this way. You could flip it this way. Such a fun little journal. So yes, I do sometimes purchase journals from some of my favorite artists or other junk journalers. Yep, because I like a variety. So that one I'm working on as well. I'm also working on a journal that I made. So this is typically my style, my size, the 8x6. And this one I sewed in 4 signatures. I have not done all my fancy junky dangle stuff on the spine yet. This is still a work in progress, and I will probably be taking you along for that journey. But this journal came about, and I'll share with you. This journal came about because I was reading this book. I think I saw another YouTuber who was following along in a slump and was following along this book, and I was intrigued. Sometimes I get a creative block, and I thought this would really help out too. So Amy, the author here, she had a lot of health issues and struggles, but she always stayed positive and creative and inspiring. And I got this book, and I wanted to follow along. But Amy is gone. She's passed on. But this book just is so inspiring, and she had such a beautiful soul, and she was so creative and wanted to share with everybody in the world. So it has these weekly things, and it can help you with your journal. But the cover of this journal came about from this book, from her recommendation for making this book. And I guess I can go into more detail because I think I will be working in this and making some videos as I work in it, and sharing more about this, and maybe taking some prompts from here and doing that in this journal, but this was just a collaging of things that brought me joy. My happy place is when I am junk journaling, when I'm doing all these, making these journals and swaps and things like that. My doodle papers and all, it's a form of therapy for me. I have a very stressful job. I work in case management. And this is the way that I can relax and just have fun. And yeah, so I just collaged together all these things that I had cut out or stickers or collected, and they just, I didn't win the Powerball, but I saved the ticket. Yeah, that are just kind of like me. And of course, I wanted it to be inspirational, and so I added to the cover here, what is my next great adventure? It's just going to be this reflection of gratitude and different things of inspiration, inspired by this book. But I kind of set that book aside, and as I was making this and putting it together, I started throwing some things in there, as I typically do. Own the Beat. I love this. This was from a magazine. So pretty. But that's just kind of like, I want this to be inspirational for me. And I just, again, my signatures are just junk and, newspapers, magazines. I don't even know what you would call this paper, but it's like that real thin paper you get sometimes in packages, and mailers, and my son goes to Mount St. Mary's, and he gave me that. And trash. Here's a trash. There's some more of my doodles on a receipt paper. I want to glue that on there. So I just stuck it in there for now. And then I just threw some things in there. Again, I want to glue that in there. Some art that I received, I put that in there. I just thought it was really pretty. And stick, so this is kind of like a trashy journal, the style that I make. I did make this card. This was a recycled something from the mail, and I put some of my doodle paper on it in a little card, index card type thing. Yeah, so I'm working in this, and I hope to kind of take you on the journey. I have started to do some things in here, but these weren't inspired by the book. They were just things I was randomly doing, because it's fun. And the book was probably close by, so I grabbed it and just put some stuff in there, some of my collage work. But yeah, this is some stuff that I received. This is from Lynn, from a Bit of Bird Song. So my journals are also a collection of things, like I was saying. But this is one that I'm currently working on, and I think I'm going to take you on the journey. I'm going to put some dangles on here, and I want to do some things from this book. But I got this on Amazon if you're interested. So that's another project. Here's a project that just doesn't work for me. Love my little guy. He is a watch over voodoo doll, and it says it's too peoply outside. Yeah. Anyway, so I got this gift for Christmas from a friend, and it's a planner. I am not a planner girl. I have found out I am not a planner girl. So I'm trying, and I'm failing, but that's okay too. I added some dangles here to it. This was from a swap. I love this little. So as I was saying, I'm not much of a journaler, and I love this pen. Isn't this cute? It's a paint, like it looks like a paintbrush. And the problem with a planner is I'm just not dedicated enough to doing it, to marking it. You know, I started off really strong, as most people do in the new year, marking stuff, adding, you know, stuff in here, and it's kind of, obviously, as you can see, I haven't really touched it since March. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love Flow. You know, I'm a huge Flow fan of their books and magazines and all. And I started off really good, had good intentions, as you can see, but it's just been slacking off. And because I'm more of a collage artist and not a writer, I just don't know what to write in these planners and stuff. I'm not one to record my daily activities like this. So then I started punching out my squares each day and then adding them in here, but as you can see, that kind of slacked off too. Then I started trying to do like a color theme or a like flower theme, and that's all I had planned for all this in the back, because I am not a writer. I am not someone who records daily stuff, but I figured there's got to be some ways to make this work for me. It's a work in process, but I know a little bit more about myself now, right? Why I find people's planners, I mean, there's some amazing videos out there of people with their planners and all the, you know, that they, how they use them and all, and they're beautiful, but I just don't think that this is my style. So that's another ideal. Maybe you are a planner for sure. But I will see what I can do with that. So I don't want to make this video too long. It's already over 30 minutes. There's so much more I wanted to show you. Sometimes I find discarded journals at yard sales and estate sales, and this is one of those, and this is not my color scheme, and then I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to fix it up. Like, I'm not a lacy person. I don't like this like sort of pastel color, but I'm sure I can find a way to make it work for me, because there's elements that I really love about it. I like these little charms hanging off of it. I like the tattered ribbons and all. Again, it's one of those really thin spines, so I did love like the inside of this journal is just beautiful with all these sort of random papers and wallpapers and things like that. But yeah, so I mean, they practically gave it to me, and I thought, well, you know, what can I do? I'm sure there's something I can do with it, or maybe I'll just gift it to someone. Like I can put it in one of them free libraries or something. Someone can, maybe they like this kind of colors and laces and stuff like that. The other thing that I have, you guys know I make my little magazine art and stuff. So I'm always working on that. And then I also received this planner that I can convert into a journal. And I'll get more into that, like how I do that, because here's one that I did. And this was more of like a record, started off of like my trip to Ithaca. And yeah, I got a new one as a gift from my dad. And this is a planner, but obviously not used as a planner. It's older, and all the planning stuff was out of it. And it looks like, I don't know where my dad got it, but it looks like somebody was starting to use it as some kind of journal planner. They had some really cool stuff in here. Yeah, so that's going to be something I'm going to look at doing, and maybe I'll make another video to show you how I can take these type of planners. And again, I bulk stuff up. I took so much out and it's still kind of too bulky, but it's holding up. I'll make another video for that and show you guys. I'm going to end this video. There's so much more to show you in a future video, but this is getting kind of long, so you'll have to stay tuned. There's some other journals I've worked on. You can see them in my past videos as well, but I wanted to talk about the different styles, like using these rings, and we'll talk about that in another video. I'm going to say goodbye. I hope if you stuck through this long video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you got something from it. There's just so many things that you can do with all these journals, and stay tuned. I will show you some more. I will share some more ideals. I hope to share some process videos. There's just so much more to come. I made a video of a journal that I completed for a swap, but I'm not going to post that now. I'll post it when the person receives it, so that it doesn't, in case they're watching, I don't want to give it away. And I will continue to show you some of the different journals I'm working on. I work in art journals, mixed media journals, junk journals, trashy journals, planners, memory keeping journals, you know, all those things. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't believe I've talked this much. I need to go get some water. And hit like. I hope you hit like. And if you're new, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.